This is CBC Here and Now.
It's a sunny Labor Day in St. John's. It's also the last day for the Pedestrian Mall.
It's really sad because it's closing.
My wife and I, walk down, have a coffee, walk back home again. We really enjoy it.
We came down to chat to a few people to see what they think about it. That story coming up.
Good evening, I'm Carolyn Stokes. Welcome to a special 30-minute Here and Now on this Labor Day long weekend. And we begin with an unexpected COVID update. We just received word from Public Health that there are 15 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the province, including a cluster that's emerging in Labrador-Grenville that will likely delay school openings. So let's have a look at the numbers. 8 of today's cases are in the Eastern Health region. 4 of those are related to international travel. 2 are tied to travel within Canada, and 1 is still under investigation, while another is a close contact of a previous case. There are 3 new cases in the Western Health region today. 2 are connected to previous cases. The other is under investigation. There's also 1 case under investigation in Central. So let's shift to Labrador-Grenville now, where in addition to today's 3 new cases, there are also 7 presumptive positive cases. Public Health says there is a large number of contacts involved here, so as a precaution, it's recommending that 3 schools in the area delay opening while contact tracing is underway. Those schools are Cloud River Academy in Roddickton, HG Fillier Academy in Anglee, and Mary Sims All-Grade in Mainbrook. There is a COVID briefing scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m., so we do expect to get more information then. And in the meantime, there are now 33 active cases of COVID-19 in the province. Now, there's also a number of exposures to tell you about, ranging from the Avalon to the West Coast, but there's too many to list for you right here tonight. So for that reason, we recommend visiting the government website. And once there, click Potential Exposures to read the full list of locations. The province says anyone experiencing even 1 symptom, regardless of their vaccination status, should be tested. It says, do not assume it's just a cold. With community outbreaks across the country right now, Public Health says it's crucial to contain the spread as much as possible. Well, Ashley is off today, so let's take a quick look at the forecast, starting with the current temperatures on the island. Looking at 13 degrees in St. John's right now, warmer as you head west, 18 in Stephenville, up in Labrador, looking at temperatures in the mid to upper teens right now. And there is some wet weather on the way tonight and tomorrow for most of the province. The heaviest rain tonight will be in the west and the southwest coast. And then tomorrow, looking like a pretty rainy, windy day with temperatures in the mid to upper teens on the island in Labrador. Winds will be lighter there, but still a wet one for most. I'll have details about rainfall amounts and the latest on Hurricane Larry a little bit later in the show. Well, a long-awaited inquiry into search and rescue begins in Makkovik tomorrow after years of delays. The death of 14-year-old Burton Winters shook the province back in 2012. Winters left on a snowmobile to cross the Labrador sea ice. It would be 2 days before search and rescue aircraft were sent to search for the teenager. Now, after 9 years, an inquiry into search and rescue may shed light on what took crews so long to reach Winters. The inquiry will travel through Corner Brook, Grand Falls, Windsor, and St. John's over the next month. A final report, including recommendations for improvement, is expected in November. Well, the Innu Nation is demanding answers from federal candidates. It's also expressing concerns over promises it says were never fulfilled. Here and now's Meg Roberts joins us now live from our newsroom. So Meg, what are the questions from the Innu Nation right now?
Well, the group has sent a list of questions to all the federal candidates, and those questions are tied to the Innu Nation's biggest concerns: the impact benefit agreement regarding Muskrat Falls and establishing a modern treaty. More than a month ago, the province and the federal government struck a rate mitigation deal. The Grand Chief of the Innu Nation says they've been asking for more financial information ever since, but haven't heard back.
These are the kind of things that we're very dependent on in the future generation young people for the promises that we've been having from in our IBA. We haven't had an information that we need in order to analyze our IBA with Nalcor.
The Innu Nation says it wants to be at the negotiation table. It's now suing both levels of government. It worries the deal may erase benefits once promised to the Innu Nation by the province in exchange for allowing the Muskrat Falls project to be built on its lands. The Innu Nation also wants the future government to commit to recommendations set out by the Canadian Human Rights Commission, which included a modern treaty negotiation to resolve Innu land title, allow for self-government, and close socioeconomic gaps.
Experience I've been having with the federal government ever since I became as a leader, and it doesn't seem to be working out, and very dishonest people, and it doesn't work with us. So that's the problem I'm having.
The list of yes or no questions sent from the Innu Nation asks candidates their opinions on previous government decisions and what their own stance is on the issue. Questions like, will you commit to working closely and meaningfully with the Innu of Labrador to ensure their priorities and values are reflected in any action taken? Now, responding over Twitter, the NDP candidate for Labrador, Amy Norman, said the deal is unacceptable, was done without your consent, goes against Innu self-determination. I condemn the federal and provincial governments. The disregard and disrespect is telling. Now, the Conservative candidate for Labrador, Shane Dumares, tweeted, I think it was wrong and completely inexcusable the way the current Liberal government excluded the Innu Nation from the rate mitigation deal. I stand with the Innu Nation 100%. Now, responding over Twitter, the NDP candidate obviously expressing her discontent there. The Innu Nation has not yet received a response from Yvonne Jones, the incumbent Liberal candidate, as well as Shannon Champion, who is running for the People's Party of Canada. Carolyn.
Thanks so much, Meg. That's Here Now's Meg Roberts reporting live. Well, it's the final day for a stroll at the Pedestrian Mall in downtown St. John's. Parts of Water and Duckworth Street are set to reopen to traffic tomorrow. But could the mall have carried on into the fall? Here Now's Jeremy Eaton has that story.
It's Labor Day. The sun is out and summer is slowly coming to a close, as is the Pedestrian Mall. Today is the last day, so we decided to come down here and chat to a few folks to see how they thought it went and if it should have stayed open longer. It may have taken a global pandemic to get it going, but the risk taken to shut down parts of two streets has paid off.
You just react to really bad things that happen in your life sometimes, and you find a way to find a little bit of happiness. And yeah, I think they did try it back in the 60s or something or whatever, but change is difficult for a lot of people, but I think it's really good. I think it's worked out.
The street-level patios, quick access to shops, and freedom to roam have been a big hit.
Amazing, amazing. It should have been done years ago.
I love it. We've been down here like a lot this summer, and I hope it comes back.
It took a big push by Duckworth Street restaurants, but the city offered up parts of that road to be closed too. While the lower downtown street saw more traffic on Labor Day, it's growing increasingly clear that this shouldn't be a one-off. A safe space for those who walk on two legs or four, those who skate and those who ride. But it all ends tonight. It's not a matter of if it should come back, but when.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. September, even first part of November, because working in tourism, I see a lot of people that come this time of the year, so it's sad to see it close so early. Extended.
I bet a lot of people go there to get a lot of food and clothes and stuff, so it's really sad for closing.
I'd like to see it longer, but also look, it's a beautiful day today, and it's easy to say this. Maybe if it was really cold and 10 degrees and raining, maybe I'd answer it differently. But yeah, I'd like to see it another few weeks up. But I also think fall is the best time of year in Newfoundland. I really do. I love it.
Yeah, I would definitely love if this was open more, especially during Christmas time.
Last winter, COVID played the Grinch to the city's plan to open up a Christmas market. No word if that could change for a downtown market this December. Jeremy Eaton, CBC News, St. John's.
Canada is now one game closer to qualifying for the 2023 World Cup. Rugby Canada won 34-21 against the United States this weekend at the Swilers Rugby Club in St. John's. It was the first international game to come to the province in 15 years, and it's been 14 years since Canada has beat the Americans. Our CBC cameras were there to capture the win and speak with the St. John's player, Pat Parfrey. Have a look.
It's exciting to have international rugby here. Woo! I was here when they played approximately 10 years ago. They won this game. They're winning this game. It's exciting. It's awesome.
I'm from London, Ontario. This is very important to Canada. Our guys are doing really, really well. So it's so exciting to be here.
A great performance and a good win. I think we got better as the game went on, which was really important for us.
You got the crowd yelling, Patty, Patty. How much did that influence your decision to sub him on?
It was everything. I wasn't going to put him on. I didn't think I'd get out of there alive.
I grew up playing rugby on this pitch since I've been 6 years old, going to watch my brothers play, hanging around my dad the whole time. So being around here with all like my club mates, my friends, my family, it's amazing. We've obviously played in some bigger stadiums. It's better to play in a small, compact stadium like this or field like this when there's loud fans than a half-empty one. So this atmosphere is so much better than having a half-empty, bigger stadium, and we could feel it today. They supported us and got us to helped out with that win.
Newfoundland did a great job. St. John's getting up for the boys, so showing the support, very vocal. We heard them out there, and know we're probably going into hostile territory next week, so getting ready for that down in Denver.
You can imagine organising a rugby tour for 50 people is a challenge, but with COVID, it's an extra layer. So we're getting used to it, you know, and the challenges around it. We got young guys and a lot of guys, they go on tours, they play the game for the enjoyment side as well, but we don't get much opportunity to do things outside of the team trainings. So that's a challenge for those guys, but this group have been fantastic. They're always playing things in the team room and keeping themselves occupied, and the spirit here is excellent.
Here's a live look in St. John's. Beautiful, sunny, if not chilly evening somewhat in St. John's. We have some rain on the way for parts of the island and Labrador, especially the west coast. I'll have those details coming up. Well, time for a look at the weather forecast. Ashley is off on this holiday Monday, so I'll walk us through the forecast tonight. We're going to start with our weather on the way headlines. Lots of rain on the way for parts of the island and for Labrador, mostly the west and southwest of the island, seeing the heaviest rain and the highest winds tonight and tomorrow. Then we're looking at a pleasant midweek for most of us on the island, and of course keeping a very close eye on Hurricane Larry. There's still a huge question mark about where that hurricane is going to land. Right now, we do have a tropical cyclone information statement in effect from Environment Canada saying that parts of the Avalon could be hit by Hurricane Larry later in the week. This is what we're seeing for the track, but as I said, a lot of uncertainty still with this. 90% of the models are saying that the storm will track south of the island, but we could see pretty high waves associated with this storm. So stay tuned for this. I'm sure Ashley will be watching this very, very closely over the next few days. So let's back it up and look at tonight. Some rain on the way, as I mentioned, for the west and for the southwest parts of the island, as well as for parts of Labrador. So some winds associated with that in the west, gusts up to 80 kilometers an hour overnight. For the south coast, looking about 5 millimeters in the Burgeo area, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain for the Port aux Basques. So it looks like that's going to be hit the hardest tonight with the wet weather. Overnight lows looking at the low teens, 9 degrees overnight in St. John's with some fairly light winds, southwesterly 20 gusting to 40. So looking up to Labrador, Happy Valley, Goose Bay going to be in for a dose of rain overnight tonight and some light winds and a chance of showers in the west. So looking ahead to tomorrow, that rain continues for the northern peninsula and for parts of Labrador as well as the south coast of the island. The Avalon Peninsula going to see that later on in the afternoon, as you can see there. So let's have a look at some amounts. About 5 millimeters for the southern Avalon tomorrow. Fairly gusty tomorrow as well. Southerly 40 gusting to 60 for the east. About 2 to 4 millimeters of rain for the Clarenville, Bonavista area. Marystown could see between 5 and 10 millimeters of rain, but 20 millimeters of rain in the heaviest rain there. So for central areas, 5 to 10 millimeters of rain for the Gander, Twillingate areas. Going to be pretty windy up there tomorrow as well. 5 to 20 millimeters of rain for Harbour Breton, 16 degrees as the high, so it's going to feel fairly mild there tomorrow. Moving west, 20 to 30 millimeters of rain expected for the Burgeo area and 10 to 15 for Corner Brook. It's going to stay fairly windy tomorrow. That gust up to 80 should start to subside in the morning, but in the afternoon, still going to be pretty breezy in that neck of the woods. So looking up to the Straits now, the St. Anthony area, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain expected there. Temperatures in the mid-teens. Cartwright, Mary's Harbour, about 5 to 10 millimeters there. For the rest of Labrador, Happy Valley, Goose Bay looks to be getting the most rain tomorrow and some showers expected for the rest of Labrador, about 2 to 4 millimeters in Makovic. So pushing ahead now into Wednesday, and things are looking fairly nice. That's that pleasant midweek break that I mentioned. You can see some cloud cover in Labrador, a few specks of showers there, but overall looking very nice into Wednesday. St. John's 22 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, and that's pretty much the way it's going to be for most of the island there on Wednesday. Nice, pleasant temperatures. Could be a chance of showers for the Straits and for St. Anthony there, and into Labrador, 18 degrees in Labrador City rather, and 16 in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. So continuing on, Labrador going to see some rain into Thursday, but the island is going to stay fairly nice. Those temperatures are going to stay in the upper teens, looking at mid-20s for Grand Falls, Windsor, and Corner Brook. Into Labrador, some showers there, but still fairly mild. Happy Valley, Goose Bay at 19 degrees, 12 in Nain with a chance of showers there. So this is our long range forecast. You can see Friday into Saturday, that's when we should start to feel the effects of Hurricane Larry. Right now they're saying that it could be about a 25% chance that we'll feel the effects, but that once again could change for sure. Temperatures around 20 degrees Friday into Saturday, and for central areas, rain there as well. Temperatures bumping up to 24 degrees on Thursday and Friday and 20 degrees on Saturday. For Western Labrador, nice midweek break there as well. Some showers moving in as we head into the weekend. And for Eastern Labrador, looking at lots of rain throughout the weekend there, 18 degrees on Friday, so fairly mild. And for Western Labrador, looking at those showers persisting there through until Saturday. So let's have a look at our weather photo of the day. We're going to go to New Bonaventure tonight. And I just love this. Yes, breakfast on the beach in New Bonaventure. Thank you so much, Bonnie McGrath, for sending that to us. It looks delicious. I love toast over an open fire. And if you have any weather photos you'd like to share, just send it to nlphotos@cbc.ca. The demand for blood donations is growing. Why the Canadian Blood Services is asking you to roll up your sleeve right now. Well, now that COVID-19 restrictions are easing, the demand for blood is on the rise. Joining me now is Gord Skiffington with the Canadian Blood Services. So tell us what the connection is between those two things, the easing of COVID-19 restrictions and the increased need for blood.
Yeah, totally. So we need all blood types every single day of the year. And as you had stated, the need for blood is rising. With the lifting of COVID restrictions across the country, we're actually seeing more trauma patients being admitted to hospital. And as well, elective surgical procedures that was postponed is now being rescheduled. So we're actually seeing the need for blood increasing.
How challenging is it to get people to donate blood these days during a pandemic?
So people are coming in to donate. In order to be able to maintain physical distancing, donation is by appointment only. So if somebody was to make an appointment, we ask them that they honor their appointment because trying to fill some of the canceled appointments and people just not showing up has been challenging for Canadian Blood Services, and not only here in Newfoundland, but right across the country.
And why is that challenging? Why does that complicate things when people don't show up for their appointments?
Every day we have a certain number of units that we need to collect here in Newfoundland in order to ensure that we had adequate supplies of blood and blood products for hospital patients here in our province. So when people make the appointment and they don't show up, then that's a unit of blood that we're not collecting for a hospital patient. And again, it is challenging. So if because people's schedules are so hectic, people's schedules change from one week to the next or from day to day, we just ask that you just not show up for your appointment. You call 1-888 to donate, go to blood.ca and reschedule your appointment so that that appointment slot is now available for somebody who wants to come and donate.
And can you give us more of a sense of just how big the need is right now?
So here in Newfoundland, we need 14,000 units every single year in order to supply hospital patients, whether it's a cancer patient who requires 8 units of blood every single week while they're going through cancer treatments. It could be an accident victim who may need 50 units of blood. So, the need is great, and just for September alone, I just looked and we have 454 unfilled appointment slots at our Wicklow Street Donor Center behind us for September month alone.
Wow, it seems like a lot.
It is a lot.
And is there a particular blood type that you're looking for? Is there a blood type that you need the most of?
So we need all blood types every single day of the year. O negative is a little bit extra special blood type. It's often used in emergency situations, so sometimes seconds count when somebody's life is on the line. The staff at the hospitals would not have time to do the blood typing of the patient, so they would automatically transfuse O negative into the patient. Currently, we have a 5-day supply of O negative in the country, but we'd like to see a little bit more, between 5 to 8 days supply. So we're kind of on the lower end. But again, all blood types are needed.
Well, Gord Skiffington, thank you so much for this.
Thanks so much.
Well, that's Here and Now for tonight on this Labor Day Monday. We'll be back to our regular 1-hour show tomorrow. Ashley will be back, and of course, she'll have more on Hurricane Larry and what to expect later in the week. We have back to school on Wednesday, if you can believe it, for some. Not to mention tomorrow's COVID-19 briefing. It'll be the first one in a while with the Premier, Minister Haggie, and Dr. Fitzgerald. So there will be lots to talk about in the coming days. Hope to see you then. Good night.